tonight, which will decide the area's Schoolreach champion. The rules for Schoolreach are pretty straightforward. I'll ask the questions, and the players can buzz in at any time during a question and answer for 10 points. There's no penalty for an incorrect answer, but there's just one answer per team. So let's jump right into the competition between St. Matthews and St. Pius X. We'll begin by asking our players to introduce themselves, starting with St. Matthews.
My name is Arnold Kwok.
I'm Glenn Jessup.
Stephen Alley.
Dino DeSanto.
And St. Pius?
Carlo Mentina.
Jamie Wagner.
Thomas Bertini. Doyle Rose.
All right, let's get into our game with some snappers to start the game. First of all, teams, on which hill in Athens is the Parthenon located? Dino?
Mount Olympus.
No. St. Pius? Carlo?
The Acropolis.
That's right, for 10 points. Who founded the American Red Cross Society in 1881? It was Clara Barton. In 1982, the Juno Awards honored whose recording of Bach's Goldberg Variations? Dino?
Glenn Gould.
That's right. Actor Donald Sutherland is a native of what Canadian city? Glenn?
Bridgewater, Nova Scotia.
No. St. Pius? Carlo?
London, Ontario.
It's Carlo. In any event, it's St. John, New Brunswick. These questions are on the subject of people. Identify the following people of history. Called the Great, which king of Poland? Thomas?
King Stephen.
No. Which king of Poland? St. Matthews founded Krakow in Krakow University. Do you have an answer, Dino?
Ludwig.
No, it was Casimir III. First of the Bourbons, which king of France sacrificed his personal religion? Carlo?
Louis the First.
No. Which king of France sacrificed his personal religion in the national interest and became one of France's greatest kings? St. Matthews? Dino?
Louis XIII.
It was Henry IV. And which English sea captain accurately charted New Zealand and the east coast of Australia? Thomas?
Cook.
That's right. Get your pens and pencils and paper ready. This is a question on math. Find the value of the unknown variable x that satisfies the following equation. 5x plus 4 equals 29. Steve?
5.
That's right. What value of y satisfies this equation? 4y plus 2 equals 2y. Steve?
1.
No. St. Pius? Doyle?
-1.
That's right. And solve this equation for x. X minus 3 equals 2x plus 5. Steve?
-8.
That's correct. Now we move into a two-part team question, a scramble for 5, and then whoever gets this question right will have the remaining questions. What were the French Protestant minority? Arnold?
The Huguenots.
That's right, for 5 points, and the remaining questions go to St. Matthews. All right, St. Matthews, what was the famous incident which began on August 24th, 1572, and saw thousands of Huguenots slain? Do you have an answer?
The Massacre of St. Anne.
No, it was St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre. In 1598, which act granted the Huguenots their religious and political freedom?
The Treaty of Nantes.
Will we accept that? Okay. Also known as the Edict of Nantes. In 1685, Huguenots were forced to flee to Protestant Europe and to America because what king revoked the Edict of Nantes?
Henry II.
No, it was Louis XIV. Back into open competition for both teams now. Subject is Canadiana, and I'm looking for a decade. Identify the 19th century decade in which the following notable events took place. So just identify the decade in each case. First of all, the Supreme Court of Canada is established. Carlo?
The 20s.
No. St. Matthews? Carnold?
40s.
No, it was the 1870s. Secondly, the Lachine and Welland canals are completed. Carlo?
The 80s.
No. St. Matthews? Dino?
1890s.
It was the 1820s. Liberals under Laurier win the federal election on the Manitoba. Arnold?
1890s.
That's right, for 10 points. And Canada purchases Rupert's Land from the Hudson. Arnold?
1860s.
That's right. Now let's move into some questions on botany. These questions deal with the study of botany. Identify the various plants from the clues given. This plant is native to North America east of the Rockies and is found only in boggy, RFTT. Doyle?
Pitcher plant.
That's right. And this annual plant is a well-known family of the geranium order. Its seeds are born inside pods that burst open explosively when mature. Dino?
Milkweed.
No. St. Pius? It is, Gemini?
The fern.
It is the balsam. Now we move into our assigned question for this game. We'll offer each player a chance to answer these questions on capitals. If a player misses a question or answers incorrectly, it'll go to his counterpart on the other team for 5 points. Identify the capitals of the following Central European and Eurasian states. First of all, for Arnold, Bulgaria.
Sofia.
That's right for 10 points. Glenn, Romania.
Bucharest.
That's right. Steve, Poland.
Krakow.
No. Thomas for...
Warsaw.
That's right for 5 points. And Dino, Armenia. Doyle for 5 points.
Azerbaijan.
It is Yerevan. All right, now for St. Pius. Carlo, Czechoslovakia.
Prague.
That's right. Gemini, Turkey.
Istanbul.
No. Glenn?
Ankara.
That's right for 5 points. Thomas, Azerbaijan. No answer, Steve? It is Baku. And finally, Doyle, Albania. Half points for Dino. It is Tyrann. And now we move into an open question on politics. Which neutral Cambodian monarch was deposed in 1970? Arnold?
Sihanouk.
That's right. In part, as a result of this, a brutal group formed to fight Carlo.
The Khmer Rouge.
That's right. And who was the leader of the Carlo?
Pol Pot.
That's right. Okay, Glenn?
Pol Pot.
That's correct. And we end round one with some snappers now. What is the official news agency of the USSR? Glenn?
TASS.
That's right. Name the plutonium-powered Explorer satellite sent by NASA. Thomas?
Voyager.
No, sent by NASA to explore Jupiter. St. Matthews. Dino?
Pioneer 10.
It was Galileo. Which CBC News reporter did Peter Mansbridge? Arnold? No answer. St. Pius. Carlo?
Wendy Mesley.
That's right. And who composed the score for The Phantom of the Opera? Dino?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
That's right. We'll take a break there to end round one. And our judge, Roger Taguchi, tells me that the scores are correct. St. Matthews leads St. Pius 130 to 75. Let's jump into round two now with some more snappers. Fort William and Port Arthur. Glenn?
Thunder Bay.
That's right. What ingredient would I find in a bottle called a Jeroboam? Or Jeroboam? Carlo?
Carnation flowers.
No. St. Matthews? Dino?
Cloves.
No. Champagne, wine, or brandy? Name the author of the book Roughing It in the Bush. Susanna Moody is the answer we were looking for. And the game of checkers is known by what name in Europe? Steve?
Drams.
No. St. Pius? Carlo?
Dams.
No, it is drafts. We move into our Who Am I question for 40 points on the first clue, in descending order of 10 points for each subsequent clue. Clue number 1 for 40. Little is known about my early years, other than that I was the fourth of a poor surgeon's 6 children. When I was 24, I took part... Carlo?
Beethoven.
No. When I was 24, St. Matthews, I took part in the Battle of Lepanto, where my left hand was permanently crippled by a gunshot wound. Who am I? Steve?
Napoleon.
No. Clue number 2 for 30 points. 4 years later, I was captured by Barbary pirates and sold into slavery. After 5 years of service to the Viceroy of Algiers, I returned to my native country, where I wrote between 20 and 30 plays over the next few years. All were failures. Who am I? No answer. We move into clue number... Arnold?
Petrol.
No. Let's move into clue number 3 for 20 points. Thomas?
Shaw.
No. I'll finish clue number 3 for St. Matthews. In the latter part of my life, I was a tax collector for the King of Spain, sent to collect wheat, barley, and oil for the Invincible Armada. When the banker to whom I had entrusted the king's money failed, I had to go to prison. St. Matthews for 20 points. Who am I? No answer? I'll read clue number 4 for 10 points. If you still haven't been able to answer this question, perhaps you should try tilting at windmills. My most famous character, Don Quixote. Arnold.
Cervantes.
That's right. For 10 points on our Who Am I? Now, we move into the evolution of man. From the descriptions given, you'll be asked to name the possible ancestors of man that have been unearthed and identified by archaeologists. What is the branch of mammals to which humans, apes... Arnold.
Chordata.
No. To which humans, apes, and monkeys...
Primates.
That's right. A large number of fossils have been found of what possible human ancestor... Arnold?
Apes.
No. Of what possible human ancestor of between 1 and 5 million years ago whose name means southern ape? Carlo?
Australorhamphithecine.
No, we were looking for Australopithecus. The famous Java man and Peking man fossils are both members...
Neanderthals.
No. Of what upright walking ancestor of man? St. Matthews?
Homo erectus. Homo erectus.
Glenn?
Homo erectus.
That's correct for 10 points. Subject now is hockey's Canada Cup. In 1976, the first Canada Cup was played. Which team did Canada beat in the final? Steve?
Soviet Union.
No. St. Pius? Gemini?
Czechoslovakia.
That's right. Who scored the winning goal? Gemini?
John Tonelli.
No, the winning goal in overtime? St. Matthews? Dino?
Paul Henderson.
It was Darryl Sittler. And the next Canada Cup was in 1981. Who won? Carlo?
USSR.
That's right. These questions are on physics. What current can pass through a cable of 10 kilowatts with a voltage of 200 volts? Carlo?
20 amps.
No. St. Matthews? Steve?
50 amps.
That's right. What is the resistance to the current? Doyle?
200.
No. St. Matthews, do you have an answer? Steve?
10,000 ohms.
No, it is 4 ohms. And what is the total resistance if 3 resistors of 5 ohms, 10 ohms, and 30 ohms are placed parallel in a circuit? Gemini?
30 ohms.
No. Steve?
4 ohms.
3 ohms. And finally, what would be the total resistance in the circuit if the resistors... Steve?
45 ohms.
That's good. Very, very good. All right, these questions are on films. Do we have... this is a picture question for you, so we'll have to give you... Here's another one. All right. Give you a couple of seconds to look at those pictures.
I know that.
We'll start with picture number 1. Picture number 1 shows a famous female robot featured in what classic Thomas?
Tron.
No. In what classic 1927 science fiction film? Arnold.
Hugo.
No, it was Metropolis. Who directed Metropolis? It was directed by Fritz Lang. Picture number 2 shows what famous lovable robot? Carlo?
C-3PO.
No. Steve?
Annihilus.
Robbie the robot. In what 1956 science fiction film was Robbie featured? Glenn?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
No. Carlo?
2001.
No, it was Forbidden Planet. The film was loosely adapted from what play by William Shakespeare? Carlo?
Othello.
No. Steve?
Romeo and Juliet.
Not quite. The Tempest. Picture number 3. Let's see if we can do better on this one. Was a scene from what 1951? Dino?
The Day the World Stopped.
No. What 1951 science fiction film which featured the famous line, Klaatu Barada Nikto? St. Pius? Doyle?
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
That's right. Yes. And what is the name of the robot in the picture? Steve?
Klaatu.
No. St. Pius? It is Gort. Who directed the film as well as Star Trek, the motion picture, and West Side Story? Doyle.
Harv Bennett.
No. St. Matthews? It was Robert Wise. These questions are on newspapers in Canada. What became Canada's first newspaper? Carlo.
The Globe and Mail.
No, Canada's first newspaper in 1752, St. Matthews. Glenn?
The Halifax Herald.
The Halifax Gazette. What Quebec premier used his Padlock Act to shut down newspapers he considered communist? Doyle.
Duplessis.
That's right. What are the two largest English-language newspaper chains? Arnold.
Torstar and Southam.
No. St. Pius? Carlo?
Southam and Thompson.
That's right, for 10 points. And we end round 2 now with some more snappers. Kurt Vonnegut's novel, Slaughterhouse-Five. Carlo?
Kenya.
No, recounts the horrors of the firebombing of what German city in World War II? St. Matthews? Dino?
Dresden.
That's right. What is the name of the controversial dam project that is getting underway? Arnold?
Old Man River.
No, underway in southern Saskatchewan, St. Pius. Carlo?
The Capel Dam.
It is the Rafferty Alameda Dam. Who wrote the classic novel The Three Musketeers? Dino?
Dumas.
That's right. And whose autobiographical account of life in Canada's maximum security prisons is entitled, Arnold?
Olson.
No, is entitled Go Boy, St. Pius. It was Roger Caron. And we'll take a break there to check our score. St. Pius has 135 points. St. Matthews has 200. So as we start round 3, St. Matthews is in the lead. We'll move into our third and final round of this semifinal game in Schoolreach from Nepean High School. Let's start off with some more snappers. What explorer of the Northwest Passage was set adrift by mutineers? Dino.
Hudson.
That's right. What Manitoba town becomes the polar bear capital of the world? Arnold?
Churchill.
That's right. The book Fifth Business is a part, Carlo.
Robertson Davies.
No, is a part of what trilogy, St. Matthew? It is the Deptford trilogy. And what was the name of the prize-winning pig in the movie State Fair? Dino?
Annabelle.
No. Thomas?
Porky.
It was Blue Boy. All right, let's move into our second team question, a scramble for 5 points. Georges-Étienne Cartier described what Canadian body as having the power of resistance? Arnold?
The Senate.
That's right, for 5 points. And the remainder of these questions will go to St. Matthews, all of them dealing with the Senate. The Senate was created in 1867 to protect the Maritimes and Quebec from domination by what province?
Ontario.
That's right. What two provinces each hold 24 seats, the most in the country?
Ontario and Quebec.
That's right. And what is the retirement age for senators?
75.
That's right. Well done, St. Matthews. And we move back into open competition, and the subject is words. From the following clues, state the words or place that begin with the letters H-Y. H-Y. A public park in London, England. Dino.
Hyde Park.
That's right. Capable of uniting or taking up water. Arnold. No answer. St. Pius. Carlo?
Hydrophobic.
No, it is hydrophilic. A hymn book or collection of hymns. Steve. No answer. St. Pius. Carlo?
Hymnal.
That's right. Exaggeration for effect. Steve.
Hyperbole.
We'll accept that. All right. Questions now on films. Who directed the first feature-length American film in 1913? Arnold?
Houston.
No. Thomas?
Buster Keaton.
It was Cecil B. DeMille. Dialectic montage is an editing invention of which Russian filmmaker? Gemini?
Roman Polanski.
No. Any answer, St. Matthews? It is Serge Eisenstein. What was the first major film of Jean-Luc Godard, which signaled the beginning of the French New Wave? It was Breathless. These questions are on economics. Which British economist born in 1842? Arnold?
Keynes.
No. Which British economist, St. Pius, born in 1842, was the leading architect of the neoclassical school? Carlo?
Adam Smith.
No, it was Alfred Marshall. Name the law created by a French economist that stated supply creates its own demand. Glenn?
The law of supply and demand.
No? St. Pius? It is Say's law of markets. In economics, what does the word real mean? Steve?
It's a good or service.
No? St. Pius? Carlo?
It's the value with inflation taken away.
That's correct. And what financial instrument is used to adjust the gross national product? Carlo?
GDP deflator.
Will we accept that?
No.
No? St. Matthew? Steve?
Consumer price index?
No, the GNP deflator is what we were looking for. And now we end our game with some more snappers. What were Cromwell's soldiers called? Carlo?
Orangeman.
No. St. Matthews? Arnold?
Black hats.
No, they were Roundheads. Who is the lead singer of the Eurythmics? Glenn?
Annie Lennox.
That's right. 2 films based on Laclos' novel Les Liaisons Dangereuses have recently been released. Carlo?
Fatal Attraction.
No. One bears the title Dangerous Liaisons. The other is St. Matthews? No answer. It is Valmont. Which singer has recently won a lawsuit against an ad agency for hiring a sound-alike singer for a commercial? Doyle?
Bette Midler.
That's right. When the Constitutional Act of 1791 created Upper and Lower Canada, what river was used as the boundary? Dino?
Ottawa.
That's right. What was the name of the horse in George Orwell's Animal Farm? Glenn?
Boxer.
That's right. Who was the Wizard of Menlo Park? Dino?
Edison.
It was. The code name for the operation of the invasion of France that... Dino?
Operation Mincemeat.
No. That began on D-Day in June 1944 was what? St. Pius? It was Operation Overlord. When were dinosaur fossils first discovered? Thomas?
The 1920s.
No. St. Matthews? Dino?
1880s.
1824. Who was the only bachelor United States president? Arnold?
Nixon.
No. Carlo?
Harrison.
No, it was James Buchanan, and don't forget Pat Nixon. What was the name of Western outlaw George Leroy Parker? Dino? No answer.
Billy the
St.
Kid.
Pius? It was Butch Cassidy. What is the first day of the 21st century? Thomas?
January the 1st, 2001.
That's right. What is the name of the boy hero in Treasure Island? Thomas?
Steve.
No. Looking for the full name. Dino?
Robert George.
Jim Hawkins. Lon Chaney, Claude Rains, and Herbert Lom. Dino?
Phantom of the Opera.
That's right. And Justice Denied is a story of wrongful imprisonment. Glenn?
Donald Marshall.
That's right. And that brings to an end our game. And our final score, St. Matthews 335 and St. Pius X 175. So congratulations to St. Matthews. They move on to our final, which we'll be seeing later tonight right here on Cable 22. And St. Pius, thanks for coming out, and congratulations on making it to the semifinal. In just a moment, we'll be joining Charles with an interview. We're looking for the coach of the St. Matthews team. And in another couple of minutes, we'll have our second semifinal game, and then we'll have the final.
The coach of this, just great team. How did you do it? How do you set it up? How do you get such a...
Luck, I guess, part of it. We start in September, and we have tryouts, and they come in every lunch hour, and we have a lot of support from the school, and just have a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm. What do you do? You read constantly as groups? Do you do tests?
Yeah, they do some research on their own, and we have practice packs, and we invested in a board, which really helped, and we practice timing and that type of thing. Just a lot of fun with it.
Hang on a second. How much time have I got with this? What, forever? Sure. Go ahead. So, I guess you're thrilled beyond imagination.
One step further. We've only been doing this for 3 years, and we've gone a little step further each year. So, yes, we're very excited. We have a young team, so we're very happy.
So, what happens now?
What happens now, we cross our fingers for the finals.
Okay, so that's the final game tonight.
That's
not to be missed.
Not to be
so
missed.
2 more minutes. Go ahead. Go on. Just talk about it. Tell us.
My
that
mom
you're
isn't
so
watching,
proud.
so I can't say. I'm so proud. It's so great. It's really good, and I hope everybody's watching at St. Matt's.
What kind of work did the boys have to do? Did they have to do independent study and stuff like that?
Yes, they did. Actually, one of the boys, it was really funny. One of the boys today, we have a couple subs up in the top. One of the boys today wrote his own pack so that they do things like that. So we get Trivial
What's a
Pursuit.
pack?
It's a practice pack. It's what Mark just asked the students. It's a series of questions, maybe 120, 140 questions, and boy went ahead and did it on his own. So we had a little practice today.
What kind of strategy do you think you used to do this? Did you?
Anticipation. You really have to. The more they get into it, the more that they listen to the questions. Like for example, a who means a person, a what means this. As you notice, most of the questions don't get read full out. They really have to anticipate what the questions are, and that's what we practice. We practice getting in there and hesitating a little bit and thinking about it and getting the answer in.
Aren't you afraid though, with that kind of strategy, is that the guy asks half the question and then he says Fred, and then the guy says
That's right, and it
author of
happens.
so
And
and so.
it happened a couple times in this game, but you have to go for it.
Didn't
at
hurt
this,
you?
No, at this level, you have to go for it.
Okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen now. We're going to go to a public service announcement. Sure. Why not? Let's go for a public service announcement.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to
Thank you.
both teams.